Zoom Meets has added a new password feature to their meetings. Let's begin. We're going to schedule a meeting. A Monday meeting. Going to kick off at 9 o'clock for 1 hour. And I'm going to come down here to where it says meeting password. How do I get this password in the hands of my students? Not easily. Maybe this isn't the best password to use. And where do we put the password? I'm certainly not going to put this on a public website where any anonymous person can come by and visit and see. I'm going to use Google Classroom. In fact, I'm going to use a feature in Google Classroom that my students can easily find a password. So I've logged into my classroom, and here's a password that your students or my students can easily find. So I'm going to copy my classroom code, and I'm going to make this my virtual meeting password. Now, all I have to do is relay to my students where to find the password to get into my current and future meetings. At some point, it's a good practice to change your password. And we can change this code whenever we wish, once a week, every other week, once a month. How do we do that? If we go up inside the classroom, if we go to the settings field, we go down to general, here's the code. I want to generate a new code. It's been 2 weeks. I'm going to reset this. And now I have a new code. So in 2 weeks, if my students are having a hard time logging into my Zoom Meet, all they have to do is come back to my classroom, and they'll have a new password that they can cut and paste into the Zoom Meet field when prompted for the password. That's pretty slick. What if you don't use Google Classroom or don't use it enough, but you use Google Drive? Ultimately, we want to make sure the students are accessing a secure file. Logging into Google Classroom is secure. They need to know their username and password to get in to find a password for your Zoom Meet. If you're not big on Google Classroom, you can always go back and use Google Drive and create a document. So I'm creating a new document, and I'm going to name this my Zoom password. So I'm going to let everybody know that this password is available from April 1st through April 15th. And here's my password. I'm also letting them know to check back on or about the 15th to see the new password. How do I get this into the hands of my students without getting into the hands of anonymous people? I'm going to share this document with my students. For example, I'll populate this field and I'll let them know this is the current and future password file for our Zoom Meets. Gee, that's not even necessary. Students don't have email addresses, but they'll know. You'll have to simply indicate to them where to find the file when they go into Google Drive. I'm not going to send. So those are two great places, two tools using Google Docs, creating a file and sharing it, taking advantage of Google Classroom's class code as an easy way to publish a password, and then place it right in here when you start creating your meetings. In fact, we did change the password, didn't we? So I'm going to copy this. I go back to my new Meet. Voila, I have a new password. Thanks for stopping by.